That real hip hop.
Y'all know how we do.
You're listening to Philly Zone Matthias, aka Mr. 16 Bars. That real hip hop.
We try to tell people that Philly is a special breed. They hate to see us on top, they hate to see us on. They hate to see us come up, they hate we on. They hate the moves that we make because it's made to break them. We give them knowledge on tracks and hope our words can save them. I guess it's hard to get props when you know you lesser. So we right on your heels, I hope you feel the pressure. Rappers taking a roll, my shoes that never fit them. Before you come at it.
Actually went on a date recently. Really nice guy. Really nice guy. I was trying to, on apps, you're always trying to figure out like what their height is. Like as a tall woman, I just want to make sure I'm not showing up with like a toddler. Like if you've never had this experience, like you show up to a restaurant and the hostess is like, oh, just one? And you're like, say something. This guy was an appropriate height. He was really nice, but when I showed up, I didn't really like him. But he was so nice. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give him a good date. Because he's a nice guy, and I believe we gotta keep the nice ones nice. I'm like, I don't know who his lady is, wherever she is out.
Welcome to this episode of Philly on the Rise. As you know, I'm your host, Michael W. Pleasant. We are joined today by a very funny lady, a comedian out of New York City. She is actually about to embark on some amazing things with her career, and we're glad to have her on the program. Zainab Johnson, welcome to Philly on the Rise. How are you?
I'm so good, Mike. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. We are glad that you are here. You have a degree in math as well as education, began your career as a teacher. How did you find your calling as a comedian?
I'm not really sure. I think I was just around it and I was a big fan of comedy. And I think one day I just decided to try it. I think maybe subconsciously there was an observation that there weren't the same representation for women as there was for men. And I don't know. I think usually if I'm presented with a problem, I think very solution based. And so I think that's just something that happened to me subconsciously. And I was like, I'll try, and it's been working out.
It's been working out. You've been very successful indeed. You grew up in a family, about 15 people in the house. Was it challenging? Because you often reference that in your comedy material.
So I have 12 siblings. Yeah, my parents had 13 kids. And I don't think that at one time we were 15 in the house because there's a 26-year or 22-year age difference between the oldest and the youngest. But I mean, it's the only experience that I know. I think it's an experience that one can take for granted as a younger person, but I think now as an adult in this world, I'm so grateful that my parents gifted me with 12 friends, you know? 12 people who understand my life, 12 people who have lived, who have had a similar lived experience. I'm really grateful for that.
What was their reaction when they found out that you wanted to get into comedy? I think even your brother was surprised that you decided to go that route.
Yeah, I think everybody was pretty surprised because I don't think I expressed wanting to do comedy or expressed wanting to be funny. And I don't even think if I showed up in the world as like an intentionally funny person, And so I think a lot of my family, they were surprised that I started comedy, but not surprised that I am excelling because like they know me to be someone who puts my mind to something and does it to the best of my ability. Now, on the other hand, people who I went to school with, they were like, yeah, you were always so funny. And I'm like, I do not remember that.
Talk to us about Hijabs Off, your first 1 hour comedy special on Amazon.
I absolutely love Hijabs Off. I'm so proud of Hijabs Off. It is my first 1 hour special that you can still watch on Amazon Prime. And yeah, I talk a lot about the intersectionality of my identity. I'm a Black Muslim woman, what that experience was like. And the reason why I chose to focus on that, those things like my identity, my upbringing, my family. The reason why I chose to, where I'm from, which is Harlem, New York, the reason why I chose to sort of focus on that for the first special is because I wanted the public to really have an understanding of who I am and where I come from. And so anything that I give you after that, you understand that this is who it's coming from. But Hijabs Off is very personal, it's very funny, it's beautifully shot. It's direct. It's filmed in a way that stand-up specials are not typically filmed, which is in the round and all handheld. And so, yeah, it is. In my opinion, it's a masterpiece. And if you haven't seen it, I suggest people go out and watch it.
It's still there on Amazon. Congratulations on that. You're actually about to kick off a 15 plus United States tour, various cities throughout the country. I'm quite sure you're super excited about that.
Yeah, well, I'm like always touring, really. I'm excited. The next stop on this tour is Philadelphia, as you know. And so I'm super excited. Like, I think the job of a comedian is always on the road. That is the place that we work out our material. That's the place that we try. We go to different cities and states and we ask each of you guys, let me know if this thing that I'm saying is funny, because ultimately I want to put it out for the world to see. But first, I need to stop in Philly. And I need for Philly to let me know, does this work? And then I need to go to New York, and I need to go to DC, and I need to go to Boston, and I need to go to Colorado and Detroit and San Francisco. And I need y'all to let me know, does this work before I put it out for the masses?
Understood. I think it's going to work just fine. You mentioned Philly. Obviously, you've been here. You've already had the Philly cheesesteak. You've already run up the Rocky Steps.
I've run up the Rocky Steps years ago, like maybe my first visit in Philly. But I do typically run around the city. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I'm quite sure you're familiar with our language down here. You know how to use the word John.
I know how to use the word John. Here's the thing. Some of my close friends are from Philly. I'm from New York. I get this Jean is a person, place, thing, anything like I do. I don't use it. I don't use it because I don't like to pander to a city or to a place. Like, I think that's a very specific Philly identity. I'm from New York. So when I come to Philly, I'm not trying to be Philly. I'm just trying to be New York. But I know that New York and Philly, we have these very beautiful similarities.
Yeah, one of the major similarities is that
Yeah.
we stole your
Yeah.
running back. We stole him from you, and he actually helped lead us to a Super Bowl. I guess you're a little bit salty about that, a little bit upset.
So now you're talking sports, and that's way out of the scope of my ability.
But you know who Saquon Barkley is, correct?
I know, yeah, I know who Saquon Barkley is, but all the politics of stealing him from who? What, the Giants? Is that what you're talking about? See, I
Correct.
mean,
Yes,
the
yes,
fact that
yes.
there's a question mark after that. I imagine that the football fans have a problem with it, but listen, Saquon is welcome to come to my show.
Okay, all right. Well, make sure you get us some tickets. You'll sit there right in the front row. One of your big breaks was with the Wayans brothers. They had a comedy special. You wanted to kind of get on board with that. One of your first big breaks. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, Sean and Marlon Wayans, obviously from an iconic, funny family, right? And they're both stand-up comedians. And so they weren't doing a special. They were touring in the same way that I am now. And a very close friend of mine who is also a comedian was the opening act for them, and him trying to get me seen by as many people as I can be seen by. He was like, come to the show and we're going to try and get you on stage with Sean and Marlon. And it actually worked. I went to the show and I told them that I was funny, and they gave me 5 minutes to test it out. And yeah, and I am forever grateful to have had that experience. Yeah. And they're iconic.
They are true iconic figures in comedy. Actually, also as Wanda Sykes, you had a chance to perform on Last Comic Standing. What was that experience like for you?
That was wonderful. That was really like my breakout. Like that was where the world got introduced to Zainab Johnson, the comedian. And Wanda Sykes was one of the executive producers, along with her producing partner, Paige Hurwitz. And yeah, I had a really wonderful time. It was an experience that I felt like I did not qualify for. Like, because I was on the show with comedians who have been doing it for 25 plus years. And at that point, I may have been doing it for maybe 2 years or maybe 3 years at most. And so I just felt like, I was a fish out of water, but actually, I mean, I succeeded, I thrived, and yeah, it was a wonderful experience.
You are super busy nowadays. You are a writer, comedian, you're on the road, but you're also presently on a series on Amazon. What is that series? How do folks find it? What time of the day? That kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's streaming on Amazon Prime. It's called Upload. It's a half-hour sci-fi comedy. It's really wonderful. All four seasons are available to stream, so you can watch it any time of the day. If you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if you in Czechoslovakia, if you in Germany, if you in South Africa, you could. If you in Beijing, if you in Philly, you could watch this show anywhere. Anywhere the Amazon Prime is available, you can watch the show Upload, and it's a really really fun show. Like I play a character, Alicia, and it's basically like a dystopic future where instead of dying, you can upload your consciousness to a virtual heaven, but those virtual heavens are like run by corporation. It's a wild show, but very, very funny. A lot of heart, a lot of action, a lot of tech stuff. So it's something there for everybody.
So if we don't catch you on the road, we know where to find you on Amazon. In the midst of all of your travels and all of your activities, you have a little bit of downtime. And from my understanding, there's a little bit of running as a hobby that you have. Are you doing any 5Ks nowadays?
I mean, a 5K is only 3.5 miles. So I did that this morning. I did double that. I did a 10K this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
today I explored a new trail and it ended up being about 6 miles. So that's a little less than a 10K, I think. But yeah, I tend to clear my mind with running. So at least one part of the day, most days, at least in the morning, I'm gonna wake up and go for a nice run, get the endorphins going.
Well, Zainab Johnson, so glad to have you join the show. Congratulations on your tour. We're looking forward to seeing you in Philly in late September. Much
Yeah,
success to you.
specifically the 26th and the 27th of September,
A
September 26th and
two-day.
27th. 2 days, four shows at the Punchline in Philly. These are important details, September 26th and 27th.
I'll
Yes.
make sure I come by and shake your hand, give you a little brotherly
Please
love, if you
do.
will.
Please do, Mike, please.
Congratulations once again, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.